promotional fee has been paid to ABC.
I'm gonna make my approaching zero in. Cross the board and round one in. Gonna find that Kingston flying around. Put my ball in the pocket and knock them all down. Gonna crank it up. Let's rise them up. Gonna crank it up. Let's swing them up. Get ready to bowl now. Strike out today. Get ready to bowl. Strike out today.
Yes, the professional bowlers have come to St. Louis, home of the National Bowling Hall of Fame and Museum, by the banks of the Mississippi. The $250,000 Hall of Fame Championship at Tropicana Lanes is a part of bowling's biggest weekend, ending tonight with the 4th annual Black Tie Salute to Champions Dinner. Hello again, I'm Chris Schenkel. Our King of the Hill, Ron Williams, has made it into the final field of 4. Let's meet his opponents. First of all, from Munster, Indiana, Eugene McCune. Ron Williams will be bowling him. He bowls out of Fort Worth, but he's from nearby Cahokia, Illinois, just across the Mississippi. That winner will meet Ray Edwards of Center Ridge, New York. That's on Long Island. And our tournament leader is Bob Larn, Jr. of Erie, Pennsylvania. And, of course, there he is, the King of the Hill, going for 5 straight and more cash. He started out by winning the A.C. Delco Classic in Torrance, California, where he defeated Parker Bone III, 246 to 210. He picked up a check for $5,000. The following week, in Phoenix, this was Parker Bone, and then he defeated Mike Albee in Las Vegas, Nevada, picking up another $5,000. Next opponent, Steve Hodgins, 246 to 179 in Grand Prairie. And he just kept rolling on and on. Such confidence, unique style. John Mazza then became the next victim, 40 to 39 and 2-frame roll-off after tying 225 to 225. But it was another $5,000, and now, today, Ron Williams can win a $20,000 bonus plus 5 if he can remain King of the Hill. The King is with a native of St. Louis. Bowler of the Year in 70 and 72, my colleague of 19 years, Nelson Burton Jr. Oh.
Thank you, Chris. Leading money winner, 6 telecasts, undefeated in the King of the Hill, Ron Williams. You know what? If you would win a couple matches today, you go against Mazza again. What's your thoughts?
I'm looking forward to bowling John again. We had a great match last week, and I hope we can do that again today after I go through the field today.
Well, you got to win a couple of games first. That's primary.
That's true. I think I can do it, though. I got a pretty good shot, and I think I got the most experience on the TV show, and we'll see how it turns out today.
A very confident player. He can win $79,000 today. And, Chris, we have the largest prize fund of the year so far available for the players.
That's right, a total of $250,000 with 54 going to the winner. 28 for runner-up, 16, and then 13-5. So Eugene McCune with his dad, a Hall of Famer, in the audience, Don McCune, goes against Ron Williams of Fort Worth. There's McCune. He's still looking for that first win. He has a regional title, been a member of the PBA for 7 years, only his second television appearance. He's 24 years old. He's on the left lane. First shot. With a great deal of confidence, Bo.
Well, Chris, he was the early leader in the tournament, and he's looking for that first win, but he's going against a guy who's got all the confidence in the world. You picked it up about a month ago, and he's just perpetuated that. He has just been so tough, averaging 234 in the championship rounds this year.
So we're all even. Ron had an opponent's average of 207 as we check his form.
Well, Ron Williams, with that unique style, pushes the ball out to the side. Now, here's the key points. Look at, he's going to re-rack that swing back down and in, but watch this left arm pull back through as he drives through the shot. He's got to pull that left arm through.
Using about 2/3 of the approach. Smooths to the line. Double. Eugene McCune won his only regional title in Decatur, Illinois, in 1988. Oh, that was like a Nelson Burton strike.
Well, it used to be like that, Chris, as you see the profile of a modern style, Eugene McCune. He doesn't bowl like his father. Look at this high backswing. Now, once again, watch his left arm as he pulls back through and drives that right pivot leg through the shot. The modern players don't quite get as low at the line as the older players because they need to snap more power on the ball. Eugene does it very well.
Oh, lovely, lovely. All right. 3 frames for McCune, 3 strikes. 2 frames for our King of the Hill in this first match for the Bowling Hall of Fame Championship. Ron Williams.
Ron Williams with the fingertip grip. Fingers inserted down to just the first knuckle. Tucks that pinky. Good loft and lift on the ball.
Hold it. Oh, a high hit left him the 3-6-7-10 Nelson.
And Chris, you could hear him say too slow as you see him coming up through the shot. He's going to be right around the second arrow. But ball speed's so important. Ron needs to keep it up around 18 miles an hour. He's down to 17, the 3-6-7-10. Get the ball to the right of the 3, slide it over into the 7.
So that's an open frame here in the first match of the championship. He was born in the St. Louis area, and he tells us about bowling close to his native home.
No, coming back to where you were born and raised is definitely a great boost, and it's been a great boost for me this week. And I'd never cashed here at Tropicana Lanes before, and I think I had a lot of fan support this week, and it's helped me out quite a bit.
Okay, Ron Williams. Coming back with a strike in the 4th frame, trailing, though, by 28. You know, throughout today's show, we'll be taking a tour of the National Bowling Hall of Fame located in St. Louis. Our first stop is a display of bowling pins and balls of this ancient sport.
Bud Light, the official beer of league bowling and the Professional Bowlers Tour, brings you the Bud Light Bowling Hall of Fame Tournament. Registration for local qualifying is going on now. Contact your local bowling proprietor for more information.
Hey, Pat! Willard, what are you doing here?
Shopping.
Yeah, me too. Can't resist True Value's great prices, huh?
Well, you know, it's a personal service I like. You just can't get that at those big chain stores.
Yeah, and with 7,000 stores buying together, they sure have some great prices.
You already said that.
Yeah, but it's true, Pat. These are great prices.
With great service.
And great people.
Like a family.
Does this mean we're brothers?
Well, let's say cousins.
Cousins?
Twice removed.
We're at Tropicana Lanes, suburban St. Louis. Chilly day, a little snow on the ground, but inside warm, made even warmer by the fact that we have a standing room only crowd on this, the biggest weekend for bowling. Hall of Fame, Salute to Champions dinner tonight. 3 in a row going for 4. A 4-pin.
Eugene McCune with that bullet-like speed, about 20 miles an hour, goes a little bit high on the right-hand lane. It's 3 in a row. Now watch him whip it from the top of his swing. Pretty loose arm swing. He snaps it hard at the bottom using a lot of leg action. 2-pin goes around the 4. That's the same shot he left in a 299 game this week.
Eugene McCune has been on tour 6 years without a win. He explains why win today is so important.
Well, for one, I've been working out here for 6 years to build my confidence and adjust my game to win out here. It hasn't happened yet, and I want to go out there and win today, especially because it's a great tournament. Plus, I can get into the Firestone, and it'll build my confidence up so I can finish out the year on a real great note.
And another 4-pin.
Talk about building his confidence. His father is in the audience, Don McCune, who is known as the father of the modern bowling ball. There he is right there. He's the man that thought enough of softening the outside shell of a bowling ball to make it hook more. He became Player of the year he did that. And he's a wonderful guy and a controversial subject.
From Munster, Indiana, which is in the northwest corner of Indiana. And Don is an Illinois basketball fan.
His son's a Hoosier fan, he told me.
Yes, they have great rivalry.
Right now, Ron Williams needs a double to get close in the match.
Give the hit. Yeah.
All right. Ron Williams mic'd today. Wireless microphone. You can see it up there by the first button of that blue and white shirt. 16 pins now.
Ron Williams kind of drifts left on the approach. He starts over here in the right-hand part of the lane. He's going to drift in this area. His target's going to be so standard, right around the second arrow. Watch this. Needs this strike here to cut the lead to 6 pins.
Slow again. Oh, boy. Bad speed. Pick it up.
Well, here's the opposite angle of that bad speed, as Ron calls it. And speed is so important here to make the ball hold the line. You must keep the ball speed up, as Eugene McCune is doing.
Oh, no.
Okay. For Ron, an open in the third frame, but he continues to mark here in a relatively close match. Spare working now for McCune, shooting in the 6th frame, leading by 18. Third 4-pin of this first game.
Nope. Virginia Bowen is actually Eugene's mother. Came down here from the Chicago area to watch her son bowl and try to win his first title.
With speed to spare. Goodness.
Chris, remember Mark Roth in his heyday? He was up there around, remember we had the jugs gun around 2021. I think Eugene McCune goes beyond that. He's in the 22, 23 mile-an-hour range. Now you watch the modern style of Eugene McCune. He's also going to drift slightly left on the approach. He's going to be right around between the first and second arrows, and he goes quickly with that high backswing and a lot of whip.
Hopping up and down at the line, hoping for a strike like that. In our first game, McCune in the lead by 17. We mentioned our journey into the National Bowling Hall of Fame here in St. Louis. This particular little visit features ornate league bowling attire.
If you're like me and use bladder control protection, Johnson & Johnson has some great news for you. Free samples of new Serenity with Dry Layer Plus. To get your free sample pack, call today 1-800-342-3800. Serenity Guards now have a new blue layer that pulls in liquid quicker and holds it, so I feel drier. And you will too. It has odor protection, and that's fresher. So call for your free sample, 1-800-342-3800.
Hey, if you thought a dollar didn't go far these days, check out the huge Ace Dollar Day sale.
Glue and gloves.
Bags.
And bow.
Cords and coffee filters.
And more for just $1
Each.
It goes to show you, Ace is America's place for better value. Hey, there's still more room back there.
Athlete's Foot. Every year, over 28 million Americans get it. Try NP27. Its doctor-recommended ingredient stops burning and itching fast. NP27. Nothing's a better cure for Athlete's Foot.
Olympic champion Krista Yamaguchi takes on pro skating's leading ladies. It's the Durasoft Colors World Challenge of Champions. Next on ABC's Wide World of Sports.
Ah, yes, all the beauty and grace of figure skating next. Right now in the first game, Eugene McCune of Munster, Indiana, non-winner, leading by 17 pins. His opponent is our king of the hill, Ron Williams. Spare up.
Ron Ron's had 3 shots that have drifted high. One in the 3rd frame, one in the 6th, and one here in the 7th frame. And all of them were lack of ball speed. As you notice, Eugene McCune among our leaders here using a lot of speed. And these are synthetic lanes, and I think it's more important on synthetic lanes to maintain ball speed.
Okay. Joining us, last week's winner from Mount Clemens, John Mazza.
Thanks, Chris. With me, Ray Edwards. Ray, off to a horrible start this year. You went 0 for 5, nothing in the bank. Today, you've got a shot at 54,000. What do you think?
Well, I just can't wait to get out there. Obviously, nobody wants to start 0 and 5. I made a change in my delivery, slowed the ball speed down. Maybe we can win today and take that money to the bank.
Center Reach is loving you. Go get him, buddy.
All right, thanks a lot.
Okay.
Ron Williams leaving the 2-pin, Bo.
Well, Ron Williams has put himself in a position where he's going to his 2nd defeat of the season. He's 6-1 in the championship round this year, and never lost to the King of the Hill match, obviously. But he's behind by 20 pins. Eugene McCune has a lurking strike working in the 7th. They can put him away.
Twice AC Delco champion. And the other title for Ron came in Columbus, Ohio.
McCune, who has never won a championship match on television, old 179 his last opportunity. Right now, he has a chance to put the king, Ron Williams, in big trouble with another strike.
Youth. Bouncing and dancing, hoping for a strike, leaving a 10-pin on the right lane. Eugene McCune.
A lot of personality, bubbling guy, and you see the head pin is going to go to the left side of the headboard. It almost comes back across and knocks out the 10. Pretty easy spare for Eugene. Watch this rocket shot.
All right. When we leave the Hall of Fame championship, we'll head to a Hall of Fame city. That's right. The world's best bowlers will be rocking and rolling on the shores of Lake Erie for the Cleveland Open. Next Saturday, 3 Eastern and Pacific, 2 Central, ABC Sports.
Pivotal frame for Eugene McCune. Right now, he's going at 217 pace. Ron Williams, 217 if he strikes out. Remember, Ron had that sudden death tie overtime win in the King of the Hill last week. Right now, he's in a position where it might be another tie. Chris Schenkel, no luck for that missile man type ball he's throwing. Watch the 6-pin, 2nd pin on the right-hand part of your screen. It's just going to fly around the 10.
Is there such a thing as going too fast, Bo?
I think you could throw so hard you don't give the pins a chance to have the proper reaction. Plus, you got to watch that your ball rolls smoothly. So far, he's done pretty good.
Ray Edwards will be the opponent of this game's winner. Then Bob Larn Jr. And then this man in his King of the Hill defense.
Key frame, 9th frame. He's starting to get in a must-strike situation.
Come on, baby. Yeah!
Josephine with the turtleneck and Bonnie, Ron's wife, mom and bride.
Ron Williams coming up with a chance to strike out for 217. Right now, he is trailing by 19 pins. If he needs strikes on this first ball, he cuts it to 9 and puts the pressure on McCune.
Ball hooked early again.
He's a winner in size. Makes a good side, doesn't he?
Yes, he does, Chris, but he said the ball hooked early again. If he could see it from the angle we shot right here, he decelerated his arm swing, and he's not going to win this match. The only thing that Ron Williams can actually even hope for is that Eugene McCune fouls or throws a gutter ball. Ron Williams, the best he's going to shoot is 197. Eugene McCune just needs, let's see, 6 pins on the first ball. That would be fairly simple.
Then he can rest and wait for his King of the Hill challenge. Will it be the tournament winner today? Yes.
We have a slight delay here. First place, the pins fell over, and they're going to have to get somebody down the lane to remove that pin. And also, Ron Williams went over to get another bowling ball to test. He knows, Chris, what you have just said, that he's lost this match. I mean, only a foul would save him, or a gutter ball, which would be completely unusual for a pro bowler. So he's going to take a little test shot because he bowls the King of the Hill match as the final match. It'll be his 6th time as King of the Hill champion. Has a chance for a $20,000 bonus. Well, he tried a different ball. It slipped off his hand. That's not unusual,
Life's most
Chris.
embarrassing moments.
We've always talked about changing bowling balls, and you get a different grip and a feel. Look at that. He drops it behind the line, hits his right ankle, and a little bit lighthearted about that, and doesn't win his first match.
I'm sure there are a lot of viewers at home that have experienced that little embarrassment. I have.
Yeah, national television makes it a little different, though.
Yes, it do.
You know, Chris, we talk about changing balls for spares. That just shows you how much different of a grip there is in a different bowling ball. He thought he was going to throw it good, and yet it slipped off. McCune's the winner.
Good, loose, and fancy-free is Eugene McCune. I think with Mom and Pop here, he's confident, hopefully not overconfident. Fine young bowler. All right, a 215 to 187. So, moving ahead is Ray Edwards as ABC Sports Presentation Professional Bowlers Tour will return after this message and a word from our ABC stations.
Hi. You know why Quaker State asked me to be their spokesman? Because I'm tough. And Quaker State is tough, too. Tough on wear, tough on sludge. And if you use Quaker State in your new car's engine, they'll guarantee it for 250,000 miles or 10 years. In writing, Quaker State is one tough motor oil. So naturally they asked me, because I'm tough. I am tough, aren't I?
Ninjas do two things very well. They react. And they attack. Nothing blows them away like a ninja. The AMF Ninja, available today.
Saturday, it's Goodbye City and Hello Country.
You're not dealing with some ignorant hick!
Chevy Chase stars in Funny Farm Saturday.
They played together as children. They've grown up side by side. They're cousins, and they're married to each other. Nick Donahue, most people search for love, but they found it right in their family tree. Can cousins find happiness as husband and wife? Will society accept their unconventional marriage? Can their parents ever accept their love? And just what hardships will they face raising a family? Kissing cousins who got married. Nick Donahue.
Monday at 9 on WHTM.
You never know what kind of copier dealer you got until you have a problem. But when you call a Minolta dealer...
Hello, Harrisburg Copiers. Bob Louis speaking. May I help you?
You'll always have a dealer who makes service and response a #1 priority. So if you buy a Minolta copier from us, we'll leave no problem unsolved and no question unanswered.
Rob Dixon has the forecast tonight on 27 News. The Professional Bowlers Tour, brought to you by Bud Light. If you want great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down, make it a Bud Light. And by the Ford Citibank Visa, it's a better idea.
Eugene McCune defeating our King of the Hill, Ron Williams, in the first match of the Hall of Fame Championship. Ron will be back later to defend his title. So it means that McCune goes against Ray Edwards of Center Reach, New York. Okay, Ron Williams being defeated by McCune. They met 1 week ago, Bo, 225 tie in the King of the Hill match. 40-39, Ron Williams beat John Mazza. Here's John.
Thanks, Chris. Hey, Pards, your insurance paid up on that ankle job there?
Well, I lost it off my thumb at the top of the swing, and I've done that once or twice in my time, so it was no big deal.
Okay, how about the next match for the King of the Hill? We got a lot of cabbage you're bowling for that last match. How you feel?
I feel pretty good. I think I got some with the... I'm going to scuff up a bowling ball a little bit and see if I can play in the oil a little bit better this time coming up.
Okay, sounds good. He's ready to go.
Sounds all right. Here's the handshake now. Ray Edwards, one title, won at El Paso in 1991 from the top seed position, defeating Bob Benoit. He's 28 years old. Does it sound like Ron Williams has found maybe a secret for defense?
Good pickup, Chris. He talked about scuffing up a bowling ball. That means he's going to sand the bowling ball to get a little more hook and play more towards the center. Holy guacamole, Chris. 2 gutter balls on the left-hand lane, and here's a guy who really has to be perturbed. He is off to a horrendous start. Look at this. I think he slips on the approach. Watch his ankle. No, it didn't even hit his ankle. He just goes wide, and see you later. You play the big hook.
Well, I hope he can keep smiling and get back in the groove.
High risk, high reward when you throw that big strike ball. Unusual start. 5 pins. Sat here for 19 years, partner. I don't think I've seen 5 pins in the first frame.
Ever. I agree.
Anything to loosen Eugene McCune up is he's got a win under his belt, and his opponent is lost.
Rolling like a champion, jumping on the air. I mean, smoking it into the pocket.
Eugene, one of 3 sons of famous pro bowlers out here on the tour. We have Dick Weber and Pete Weber, both won championships. Don Johnson, the great Johnson, and his son Jimmy has won a championship. We've seen Don McCune in the audience, and he's hoping his son can win a championship. Only ones to win a championship, Chris.
Oh, goodness. 4, 6, 7 split. Eugene with his sister Chris on the ladies' tour.
He's quickly up, and he's just going to rocket this ball over in this area, and it's going to just bang right out. He's going to go real quick. He's got a chance. Ooh.
Probably hearing pinfall. It's the practice shots from Bob Larn Jr., our tournament leader from Erie.
Ray Edwards defeated all the other finalists in the championship round today in match play, so he knows how to win.
This is unfair to an Air Force veteran, is all I could say.
Here's a style that got you one of the most unbelievable leaves we've seen. 4 pins and still hit the head pin. He's a very contemporary style. Really, he's in good position here. Everything driving straight forward. Look at that left arm in perfect shape, but he's just too soft with his speed. You heard Ron Williams when he had that wireless mic on saying, keep the speed up. So important on today's lanes.
Yeah, here's the man that made the biggest move of all. 10th to 2nd, winning all his matches. And now this is another day.
It's a tentative shot. The lane condition we have out here on the PBA Tour, you cannot pull the ball left to your target. We have a very scoreable condition, but you can't pull it left and you can't throw it soft. Now watch Ray Edwards. He's going to play the extreme left side. He's going to be a little more hooked than the other players, trying to stir third arrow, and that's going to go out very wide.
Now there's a break that may turn things around.
The 4 and 6 pins will be the last 2 pins to fall.
Another 4-pin for Eugene McCune, who won the first match over Ron Williams, 215 to 187. McCune with 5 strikes in that win.
The full grip, the wind-up shot, 25, 26 miles an hour.
Coming up next on ABC's Wide World of Sports, Olympic gold medalist Kristi Yamaguchi takes on figure skating as leading ladies in the Durasoft Colors World Challenge of Champions. Plus, from Japan, coverage of the World Alpine Skiing Championships continues. And we'll take an up-close look at extreme snowboarding. All next on ABC Sports. Our tour of the National Bowling Hall of Fame continues with a peek into the gallery area.
Introducing something very, very fast. It can take you from 0 to 3,500. The new Ford Citibank Visa card. You get the security of a Citibank Visa, and 5% of everything you purchase goes towards a new Ford or Lincoln or Mercury. You could earn a rebate of up to $3,500 2 years faster than any other basic auto rebate card. The new Ford Citibank Visa. Now this is a better idea.
Well, we're almost there. Yeah, 3 years of digging and digging. But soon, our first taste of freedom. Here we are. Push!
What'll it be, boys?
2 Bud Lights, please.
Sorry, fellas, but we're all out. If you want great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down, make it a Bud Light.
You know, Larry, we really should carry more Bud Light.
Every year, Cleveland sports fans say, wait till next year. Now their championship has arrived. It's the Cleveland Open, next Saturday on ABC's Pro Bowlers Tour.
We're in our second match, the National Bowling Hall of Fame Championship. Ray Edwards against Eugene McCune, who won the first game. And with such a bad start, Ray Edwards has come back to within 5 pins of McCune, Bo. But first, in tuxedo and bowling shoes, John Mazza. He's going to the Salute to Champions dinner tonight.
Thanks, Chris. Bobby, $54,000.
There's a lot of ways you can say that. $54,000 or $54,000 or just $54,000. Any of them sound fine to me.
He's ready to go. He's loose. We're going to have a lot of fun this last game, I'm telling you right now.
Now, Ray Edwards has taken the lead by 5 pins. Nelson.
Ray Edwards, one of the great strike balls in our sport. He holds the PBA record for the most strikes in a row, 32 in a row at the True Value in 1991. So he knows how to strike, and it behooves Eugene McCune to put his striking shoes back on. He can retake the lead here in the 5th.
Now he leads by 5, and I should explain why John Mazza is wearing bowling shoes. Had Ron Williams gone on to win this championship, it would have meant that Ron, as King of the Hill, would have bowled John. But John, you can take them off now, put on your, because John won last week in Peoria.
Interesting shot on McCune's last shot. As you look at his grip, seeing that ball bounce as he let go of it on the right-hand lane. Now you look at the full grip. He really stretches it out there. You can see he's nervous. He goes very quickly. Can go back to a 15-pin lead. Been around the pocket almost every shot, although that ball speed is preventing him from getting consistent carry. He's left 4 4-pins and 3 or 4 10-pins. Right now with a spare, he'll still lead by 4.
Finished 4th here in the National Bowling Hall of Fame Championship, and he was 19th in Las Vegas, Eugene McCune. Ray Edwards in his 5th TV appearance. And bride-to-be, Jennifer McClure. Ray Edwards' military experience inadvertently pushed him toward bowling when his pitch was up.
Well, actually,
The bowling that I did in the military wasn't very competitive. It was just league-type bowling. As far as my career in the military was going, it wasn't really living up to my expectations, and decided to give bowling then a full-time obligation as far as coming out on the tour.
4 years in the Air Force, he was the electronic technician repairing communication systems. Has a very fine pro career in front of him.
So the Air Force electronic technician grooves it in. 16-pin lead for Ray Edwards, leading Eugene McCune, as we'll return following this.
Hot coffee and steak in front of strangers at 30,000 feet? Not till I switched. Now I fix it and forget it.
That's good. When people are watching you this closely, you just can't be worried about your dentures. That's why I Fix-A-Dent and forget it.
Fix-A-Dent holds stronger than any other adhesive. It even stands up to the hottest liquids.
Taste it, Grandpa.
He never would have tried this with his old adhesive.
For the strongest hold you can get, Fix-A-Dent and forget it.
All-Pro quarterback Dan Marino.
When the game is over and the pain starts, I want two things from my pain-relieving rub: fast relief and no odor. So I use Sports Cream, a strong pain-relieving rub that doesn't make me smell like a medicine chest. I just massage in Sports Cream for fast, odor-free relief. Cream or lotion, Sports Cream sure gets my vote for fast relief and no odor.
Olympic champion Krista Yamaguchi takes on pro skating's leading ladies. It's the Durasoft Colors World Challenge of Champions. Next on ABC's Wide World of Sports.
Somebody say go.
Ron Williams, our king of the hill, staying loose because he will meet the winner of the National Bowling Hall of Fame Championship. One game away, we have an exciting semifinal game between the first match winner, Eugene McCune, at whom you're looking, trailing by 16 with a spare-up shooting in the 7th. Ray Edwards in the lead. He has strung 5 in a row. Tomorrow at 1 Eastern, 3 Pacific, we'll wrap up our coverage of the World Alpine Skiing Championships with men's slalom and women's downhill. And live at 1:30 Eastern, 10:30 a.m. Pacific, it's a Pizza Hut college basketball doubleheader. In Game 1, North Carolina meets Georgia Tech, or DePaul takes on Memphis State. Then, Game 2, Louisville faces UNLV, plus other regional games, all tomorrow, ABC Sports.
Well, Eugene McCune just can't seem to put it together on the left-hand lane. He opened there in the 2nd frame. He struck in the 4th. He left the 10-pin in the 6th, and here he hits light and leaves the 4-pin again in the 8th frame. And he'll find himself trailing in this match by 16 pins through 8 frames. When you talk about good comebacks, you see that Ray Edwards had 13 in the 2nd frame. One of the greatest comebacks I ever saw was by Dick Weber in 1956 when he started with a gutter ball against Don Carter and ended up shooting 258. Now here's Ray Edwards. He's over in this area. He's going to slide in this area. He's going to be around the 2nd arrow with the big hook way out, almost to the edge. You saw him dump one in the channel. And he can open a 26-pin lead.
I like that one. Ron Williams, who lost in the first match, picked up a check for $13,500. Loser of this, our 2nd game, will get $16,000. The runner-up in the championship game, $28,000.
Nervous Eugene McCune trails by 26 pins, just working a piece of tape, looking at the scoreboard. Almost got to be wishing, saying, where's another one of those gutter balls from Ray Edwards, who strung together 6 in a row.
Beautiful comeback. Men in the audience had a comeback once, too, didn't they?
You bet. We talked about it. Dick Weber, 1956 World Championship against Don Carter. As you see Eugene McCune splice the rack there in the 9th frame, he still has a chance in the match. Possible 217 for McCune. He must strike on this ball to have any chance.
Now, Ray Edwards watches the shot of his opponent, unlike some of our professionals out here on tour. Ray takes a long look at the man he wants to beat.
The man he has already defeated. With that string of 7 strikes after 5 in the first frame, 4 in the second, Edwards has come back.
That's a beautiful comeback.
Good performance, Eugene McCune. Very personable, likable young man. Ray needs 2 pins, and obviously he has trouble keeping it on the lanes, playing that real wide shot. I'd be surprised, Krishenko, if he sends it way wide. I mean, if he does, he hasn't really looked at the scoreboard. He just needs to get it on the lane. The only thing that could beat him is in the gutter.
What does he do? Keeps his string alive. Just a beautiful performance. Took his downfall in that first frame with a smile on his face, collected himself, and boom.
What a comeback. What a comeback. Has a chance for a 253 starting with 13 in the 2nd frame.
Competitor. He wanted that 10 pin to be in the 240s nonetheless. Fiancée Jennifer alongside Don McCune. All right. 242 from 197. This week, Choice Hotels International's Tip of the Week features Tita Semez and some special equipment.
ABC Sports presents a winning never gets old bowling tip, sponsored by Choice Hotels International. Here's bowling great Dick Weber.
We're joined today by PBA and Senior Tour champion Tita Semez. As you moved into the senior circuit, Tita, what was one of the problems you faced and how did you overcome it?
Well, Dick, one of the biggest problems I had was the lack of strength in my wrist. It caused me to deliver the ball open-handed on occasion and diminish my consistency. To overcome this problem, I employed the use of many wrist guards that are available today. The use of the wrist guard has firmed up my wrist, keeping it straight and allowing me to deliver the ball exactly the same way each and every time.
Well, thank you, Tita. So for you seniors at home, the use of a wrist guard can keep your wrist in a constant position for more consistency. Remember, winning never gets old.
Look for more ABC Sports winning never gets old bowling tips, sponsored by Choice Hotels International.
The great sports moments of the 80s are now chronicled on a compelling home video from ABC Sports. To order, call 1-800-4ABC-VCR. Sports enthusiasts can relive a truly golden era in sports. From the Cinderella teams, to thrilling rivalries, to dramatic reversals of fortune, the record books were rewritten. Now the great sports moments of the 80s can be yours for only $19.98 plus $3.95 shipping. For this historic video, call 1-800-4ABC-VCR.
You know, I'm always teaching bowlers how to put fingers into the shot, not just the ball. But you can also use your fingers to save money. If you're 50 or over, just call 1-800-4CHOICE, and you can save 30% at Choice Hotels like quality, comfort, clearing, and sleep. 30%. Now that's what I call aiming for the pocket.
Travelers 50 and over save 30% at any of the 7 brands in the Choice Hotels family.
Okay, let's recap our National Bowling Hall of Fame championship. Eugene McCune came in and defeated our King of the Hill in the first match of the championship, 215 to 187. Then, with a gutter ball in the first frame, this man, Ray Edwards, former Air Force electric technician, defeats McCune 242-197 with 8 in a row, earning him the opportunity to go to the final match against our tournament leader, Bob Larn, Jr. Here they are, the trio proprietors of Tropicana Lanes: Ray Bluth, a great Hall of Fame champion, Vern Santons, Tino DeFranco. They've done a good job hosting.
They sure have, Chris, and we had an excellent tournament here, 160 players, 223 average to make the top 24. And let's look at some of the other players that finished down through the 24th spot. The Hall of Fame championship, the highest paying so far this year. Monticelli up there, Dave Arnold, great talent. Alexander had a 300. Dick Weber proving that he is the greatest bowler of all time, finished 9th in this strong field. Tommy DeLutz picked the 7-10 split this week. Gary Dickinson warming up for that seniors tour. Big John Forrest having a great winter. Mark Williams has made the cut 5 for 5 in this bowling center. Charlie Taft, former champion here, and a former True Value champion, Bruce Hamilton, round out the top 24, 53 spots this week, Chris.
Parma Heights, Ohio, 1 week from today for the $135,000 Cleveland Open. Then we go to the PBA National Championship, and earlier time, starting at 1 Eastern. We'll have to get up early, Nelson.
That'll be it. We're going to see the Ducats there.
That's right.
Mike and Darrell run a great tournament. Now we're ready for the championship match, Hall of Fame championship. $54,000 at stake. And this man bowled 2 games on TV last year, both of them 253. That's what he averaged last year, and he is a determined, tough guy.
$82,000 up for grabs. 28 to the runner-up, and as Bo said, 54 to the winner. Bob Larn Jr., 30. Ray Edwards, 28.
And the man with as good a strike ball as anybody on the tour holds the PBA record of 32 strikes in a row, 300, 300, 258 in the championship match.
All right, we're all even. You know, with figure skating following us on Wide World, 2 days ago was the 25th anniversary of Peggy Fleming winning her Olympic gold medal in Grenoble, France, which Dick Button and I covered. And tonight her husband, Dr. Greg Jenkins, has a skating party in San Francisco for Peggy. Wish we could go, but we have a Salute of Champions dinner here.
Salute of Champions in St. Louis, the 4th annual. Have some great honorees there tonight, as you see a great strike bowler up here in the championship match, Ray Edwards. How disappointing. That ball just cut right through the center of the pins. When he won at El Paso, Texas, he shot a 216 game, and here's what happened in that game there. He had the same thing, a solid 9. The ball hits the 1, 3, should hit the 5 and deflect into the 9. He has too much power and leaves the 9.
That Salute to Champions dinner tonight, Helen Duvall, WIBC Hall of Famer, is one of the honorees. Frank Modica, President and CEO of Showboat Lanes, and Steve Bornstein, President and CEO of ESPN, are the honorees. And there are past honorees here like Dick Weber and Dennis Swanson, President of ABC Sports.
The style of Bob Larn. Look at how he rolls that ball in his wrist. Look at him more than any of the players in the championship round. Now look at this position here. His head straight forward, this straight forward, everything going straight forward, and just snaps that wrist. Look at that hand action. Straight up underneath the ball. He started with 2 in a row.
A lot of action. Lots of action. Running them out here, Bob Larn Jr. of Erie, Pennsylvania, where we televise the Flagship City Open.
Flagship City Open 3 weeks down the line on the PBA Tour. Man with a similar style to our tournament leader, Bob Larn. Cupped wrists, powerful strike ball.
42 games and then determining the final 4, and here you have the final 1-2.
in the standings, going for that one game, 54 to the winner, 28 for second. And the winner to meet Ron Williams, our King of the Hill. Of spirit here in this title game. The National Bowling Hall of Fame, right here in downtown St. Louis, has a display to illustrate the evolution of pin setting equipment. Former veteran Jimmy Keith dropped by the National Bowling Hall of Fame yesterday.
I wasn't due for another 2 weeks. Suddenly there I was, having a cesarean. David was wonderful, and when it was all over, I had this perfect little person, and a lot of pain. Later, I was kind of surprised when the doctor gave me Tylenol, with all the other choices they have, but the Tylenol made me feel better, so I could put my mind on more important things.
Tylenol, the pain reliever hospitals use most.
We've had Oblaze for 16 years. I mean, this Oblaze. My husband uses it for all of his hunting and fishing trips. He and the dog absolutely love that car. Someday, when even AC Delco Parts can't keep it going, we'll just park it out back so he and the dog can sit in it and reminisce.
AC Delco Parts. It's like buying time.
You're about to see the power of subliminal advertising.
Now, can you name bowling's hookingest and bashingest ball? It's the Rhino Pro line in several distinctive urethane formulations to improve any game. Only at your local pro shop.
And as part of this big bowling weekend, the Saluted Champions dinner tonight, one of the honorees is Helen Duvall of Berkeley, California, being honored for her lifetime of achievement and commitment to the sport of bowling. Congratulations to Helen. Tournament leader, 3 in a row.
The scoring system of bowling a little bit unfair and is showing up in this match. Bob Larn has 3 strikes and he's going to have a spare and he'll have a 9-pin lead, where Ray Edwards has 3 strikes and a spare and he's trailing by 9.
Now we go to John Mazza.
Thanks, Chris. Ronnie, when you bowled, you look confused. Your speed control is a little soft. What are you going to do to bowl a good game and to win King of the Hill to advance?
Well, I went downstairs and got a Scotch-Brite pad and scuffed up my bowling ball a little bit and working on my speed over here on the practice pair, and hopefully I can win the King of the Hill this afternoon.
Okay, he's going to amp it up and he's going to get it going, folks.
And back to striking ways, our tournament leader, Bob Larn Jr.
Here's the man coming up here in the 5th frame that should be leading this match. He's trailing by 9. He had solid strike, solid 9, and 2 more solid strikes. However, had the misfortune of that solid tap. But he can make up for it and take the lead, 5th frame. Pin goes to the sideboard, flips back across the lane, doesn't take out the 10. Ray Edwards switches to a different ball for spares. Something that'll slide across the lane, give him a little more control.
Okay, still a close match, only 10 pins. Tomorrow, 1 Eastern, 3 Pacific, we'll wrap up our coverage of the World Alpine Skiing Championships with the men's slalom and the women's downhill, live at 1:30 Eastern, 10:30 Pacific. It's a Pizza Hut college basketball doubleheader as well. In Game 1, North Carolina meets Georgia Tech, or DePaul takes on Memphis State. Then, in Game 2, Louisville faces UNLV. Plus other regional games. Ray Edwards moving from 10th position to 2nd in this National Bowling Hall of Fame championship last night by winning all 8 matches. Has come on here and now is in the final against Bob Larn. Bob Larn Jr. bypassed the first month and a half of this year's tour for a few reasons.
I enjoy spending a lot of time home with my family, and Peoria and this week were real big weeks, and I just thought it'd be a good time to come out. Next week I'm going to be in Cleveland. We'll be close to home, back again, and I can see my kids again.
There's Stacy. Trying to add to his 20-pin lead as a result of his double and 5 and 6 now. Oh, that single pin always looks so large. And it can be missed, can it?
Well, he's got 9 inches to convert it. There's plenty of room, and he got a great break when the head pin rolled around and knocked out the 5.
You explain that noise of the bowling ball when we come back?
You bet, partner.
Okay. We'll return after this.
How do you get the good times rolling? You get your friends together and go bowling. It's great fun anytime. Call ahead to be sure open lanes are available for you and your friends. So make your plans now.
Bowling, bowling, bowling in the USA. We're back bowling, bowling, bowling in the USA.
They ate the same things, got the same heartburn. But his antacid is very different. His Tums has calcium. Most antacids don't. Original Rolaids uses an aluminum salt. This uses aluminum and magnesium. So does this. Of all these, only Tums helps wipe out heartburn and gives you calcium you need every day.
Something my body needs anyway. I like that.
Calcium-rich Tums. That's the one you want.
Every year, Cleveland sports fans say, wait till next year. Now their championship has arrived. It's the Cleveland Open, next Saturday on ABC's Pro Bowlers Tour.
What a gentleman from the world of bowling for many years, a man that came up with the idea of Salute to Champions Dinner. Jim Bennett, retiring as Senior Vice President of Brunswick Corporation. Gentleman with a capital G.
Ray Edwards trails by 19. Strike up, 7th frame.
Now, about the noise of the bowling ball, I don't want to let our viewers hanging out there.
When Bob Larn shot the 2-pin in the 7th frame, he throws what I call a kill shot. He breaks his wrist backwards, actually like a backup ball, and the ball rolls over the thumb and finger holes. That was the rumbling you saw. Now, this man uses a little different technique. He uses a hard ball and lets it slide across.
Okay.
Both of them are good ways, Chris. I still prefer what Bob Larn is doing. Use the same ball, the danger of dropping it, as we saw our King of the Hill champion, who will be up in the next match, do in the first match, drop a ball, is always there. Right now, as we come down to gut time, the last 3 frames, 20-pin difference, Bob Larn, who is not used to losing, Ray Edwards, who has all sorts of potential, 1 title in his pocket.
All right. That coming in the 8th frame. In this crowd, that's like the who's who of the bowling industry. You have Nick Romando, former president of the Hall of Fame, Clara Morton, the current president, manufacturer, executives, and just good league bowlers. Bob won't let him get away.
All right, we'll take a look at Bob Larn, who has just a tremendous style. This man has just been a late blossomer, or a late bloomer, should I say. Starting over in this area, coming in this area, he's going to be right around the 2nd arrow. Drifts, takes it, cuffs that wrist, right through the shot. He can just about lock it up with a strike here.
You know, he won his only tournament in 1992 in Baltimore from the top seed, defeating Dave d'Entremont 253 to 163. Likes that top spot.
And those 253 games, he can't bowl 253 this game. He can only bowl 238. And he dropped this ball. He knew he didn't get the good lift, so he's happy with the 10 pin. All right, for Ray Edwards, who's just bowled a stellar game so far. Strike solid 9, double 10 pin, strike 10 pin. He has a possible 239 and can actually shut out Bob Larn. It doesn't even seem like he's been in the match, and here he can stand in the 9th and 10th frames and lock it up. Didn't like that shot. You saw he didn't project it out as wide towards the gutter, and he hit up on it early. Watch the lift. He'll hit on this ball early. Watch him flip it out on the line. See it flip, and it doesn't go real wide. His good strike shots were out near the edge board.
Both pros with spares in the 9th frame.
Mandatory that Ray Edwards strike in this position. He has a potential 219. Bob Larn going at a 228 pace. No matter what Edwards does, Larn only needs a mark. Party's over, Chris.
Yes.
Ray Edwards, boy, just such a wonderful game. He's going to end up with 190-something with only one errant shot. 196. What a shame.
Regardless of who you were rooting for, that's a heartbreak. Come up with a 7-10, especially when you consider the beginning. Look at that. Any kind of hit, you'll get a strike. Boy. That's great.
Little $54,000 handshake there.
Yes, that is. Second highest paycheck to the winner of our tour. A few tears in his eyes. What a rip. He and Stacy now putting that in the bank account. There she is. Happy Valentine's Day. Heidi ho. And of course,
we still have the King of the Hill coming up, Chris, and we remember how Ron Williams has always struck back, and he's got a $20,000 bonus at stake.
And Ron can't wait to get over in the playing area. So there it is, 228 to 196, and there's the King of the Hill coming up next. ABC Sports presentation. We'll return after this message and a word from our stations. ABC, of course.
$45, even 45 cents, even 46 a pound, $4,700 phone, one time, $47.5.
What'll it be, fellas?
Make it a Bud Light.
Sorry. This is the last one.
Well, I think I'll take that one.
What do you want to give for it? I'm a 2 and a 10, give me 10, a 20 bid, give me 20 now, 30, give me 30 now, 40 bid, give me 40 now, 50, give me 50 now, 60 bid, give me 60 now, 70, give me 70 now, 80.
If you want great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down, make it a Bud Light.
Bud Light, please.
Sorry, boys. This is the last one.
Athlete's Foot. Every year, over 28 million Americans get it. Try NP27. Its doctor-recommended ingredient stops burning and itching fast. NP27. Nothing's a better cure for Athlete's Foot.
Hey, if you thought a dollar didn't go far these days, check out the huge Ace Dollar Day sale.
Blue and gloves.
Bags.
And bow.
Cords and coffee filters.
And more for just $1
Each.
It goes to show you, Ace is America's place for better value. Hey, there's still more room back there.
The king of the Crime Stoppers is back.
I'm on my way.
Warren Beatty and Madonna in the blockbuster hit Dick Tracy, Sunday.
I'm Dennis Witterbaugh aboard the USS Teddy Roosevelt. Only 27 News can bring you this close to the largest military exercise in the Atlantic. Tonight, you'll see how military might is shaping up for a new role in a changing world. 27 News brings you aboard for a look at life on the USS Roosevelt. Tonight at 6 on WHTF.
Enter the Lilac in Rochester, New York. Bowl for over $1 million.
It's our 25th anniversary, and any bowler with a sanction average can win.
Have fun at the Lilac and bowl for great cash prizes.
Win with the Lilac. There's team, doubles, singles, and 4 new bonus singles events.
It's our 25th year. We plan to pay over $1 million.
Enter the Lilac.
Call 1-800-36-LILAC now. Win with the Lilac.
Carl Ravitch has the scores and more on 27 News.
Everyone, welcome to New York. I'm John Saunders. We'll get you back out to the bowling in just a moment. But first, a reminder, after bowling on ABC's Wide World of Sports, we'll take you to the Durasoft Colors World Challenge of Champions, professional figure skating featuring the Olympic gold medalist Christy Yamaguchi and also former world champion Jill Trenery, all part of today's ABC's Wide World of Sports. Also, back to Japan for the men's downhill, part of the World Alpine Skiing Championships, as well as the ladies slalom, and also extreme snowboarding, all part of today's ABC's Wide World of Sports. That's coming up after the bowling.
Moved in, eliminated McCune, 242 to 197. And in the championship match, it was won by Bob Larn Jr., his second PBA title, winning it 228 to 196 with 7 strikes. And a check for $54,000. Ray Edwards leads with 28, 16 to McCune, 13-5 for Ron Williams. Ron Williams, Nelson Burton, is the man of the hour now, our king of the hill.
I agree, Chris, and he can win a $20,000 bonus if he wins here in this match. You see, he won all these matches right on through, defeated Mazza, and then now with a 5th consecutive victory, he would up his earnings to $55,000. There he's right at that second level. The 5 consecutive victories would happen today, and right now he has a tough hand in front of him with Bob Larn Jr.
Ron Williams became king of the hill by winning the AC Delco Classic in Torrance, California. And now here we are at Tropicana Lanes, suburban St. Louis. The handshake for the king of the hill match. The challenger is the Hall of Fame champion, Bob Larn Jr.
Something to watch for here as Bob Larn steps up. Nobody has ever had a lead on Ron Williams in the King of the Hill matches. He has never, ever been behind. 5 consecutive victories. And look at this. Look at this every single week. A guy wins a tournament and comes out and says, "Here, Ron, you want some extra money?"
Ron's has, averaging 233. He's formidable, isn't he?
You're right, Chris. And what he has to do is get over in this area and bounce that ball out.
Across the river, Cahokia, Illinois, birthplace of Ron Williams. A lot of league bowling in this St. Louis area. Now bowling out of Fort Worth. First shot.
Chris, he quickly said he made some adjustments, and what he said, he had got an abrasive pad which takes some of the shine off the bowling ball, and it'll make the ball hook more, and now he can play more towards the center of the lane, so he can play a little more hold or oil as he releases the ball. You look at his grip, and then hopefully it'll snap sharper at the back end, because he really struggled in his first match against Eugene McCune.
Big double, 21-10 lead. Open frame, Bob Larn, our champion. Second frame, right lane. Look out. This man can gain another $5,000. His opponent can gain 25.
Larn gets a good break. The 2 trips out to 4.
His walk back to the settee was something to behold. Ah, yes. Three in a row. The king has arrived.
As he focused, the crowd was watching a replay, Chris, and it didn't even bother him as they laughed and he was on the approach. He is locked in. He has averaged 234 in his King of the Hill matches, undefeated.
All right. Bonnie Williams, his wife, is taking a 31-pin lead. We're at the home of the National Bowling Hall of Fame. Among the displays, here's one to illustrate the evolution of pin-setting equipment.
Introducing something very, very fast. It can take you from 0 to 3,500. The new Ford Citibank Visa card. You get the security of a Citibank Visa, and 5% of everything you purchase goes towards a new Ford or Lincoln or Mercury. You could earn a rebate of up to $3,500 2 years faster than any other basic auto rebate card. The new Ford Citibank Visa. Now this is a better idea.
If you're like me and use bladder control protection, Johnson & Johnson has some great news for you. Free samples of new Serenity with Dry Layer Plus. To get your free sample pack, call today 1-800-342-3800. Serenity Guards now have a new blue layer that pulls in liquid quicker and holds it, so I feel drier. And you will too. It has odor protection, and that's fresher. So call for your free sample, 1-800-342-3800.
There are gut balls and gutter balls. And sometimes, the trophy falls. But no matter what, you'll love the bowlers who have it all on ABC Sports Home Video, Bowling the Perfect Game. Call 1-800-4ABC-VCR to order bowling's colorful history. Narrated by Chris Schenkel and Nelson Burton Jr. This collector's home video can be yours to enjoy for only $14.98 plus $3.95 shipping. That's 1-800-4ABC-VCR.
The North Carolina Tar Heels meet Georgia Tech. Or DePaul invades Memphis State to tip off a regional doubleheader. Sunday on ABC Sports.
The King of the Hill match is exciting again. We're in Richmond Heights, Missouri, suburb of St. Louis, Tropicana Lanes. Here's the champion of the National Bowling Hall of Fame Championship, Bob Larn Jr. He's going against King of the Hill, Ron Williams. Now, with an open first frame, he's 3 in a row.
Larn answering those 4 strikes by Williams to open the match. And this is a key shot in the early going for Bob Larn Jr. He's had a little trouble with his left-hand lane, even in the championship, which he won against Ray Edwards. He's been a little bit high. He needs to make an adjustment and get the ball over the foul line. Don't drop it.
Watching with great interest, the PBA Commissioner, Mike Hunter, founder of the PBA, Elias. And our statistician, as usual, is Butch Soper.
See if Ron Williams can answer that challenge. You know, he really struggled in his first match against Eugene McCune, and he's used a lot of energy in the first 4 frames. commentary, and it really was his approach. He slipped a little bit on the approach, which caused him to pull the ball left the target and slid back and left a very difficult spare. Watch him slide a little bit on the approaches. His left foot kind of locks in. He's left the target. Now a tough spare, 4-8. And that's a problem players had all week long, Chris, is when you get the ball to the left side of the lane, left of the third arrow, the ball will just hook tremendously. And Ron Williams probably didn't practice that shot, and now he has dug himself a hole, trails by 5 pin, and for the first time in the King of the Hill matches, he is behind.
6th frame, left lane. All right, sign of a pro. Trademark of a pro. Error, bounce back. All match for the National Bowling Hall of Fame champion Bob Larn would be 5. The King of the Hill Ron would be 25.
A lot more at stake for Ron Williams, and I think the players have learned a little something watching other King of the Hill matches. They've seen the letdown of some of the champions against Ron, and they also realize how much money can be won by being the King of the Hill. So Larn out giving it its best.
A 9.
You know what? That's the best ball he threw on that lane the whole game. He got the ball well out on the lane, solid, and the ball just snapped right through. And if Ron Williams needed any reprieve to stay in the match, it was right there because Larn had him on the ropes. A solid 9 gives him a chance.
Now for Ron Williams. Big shot in the 7th frame. If he loses today, we'll have won $20,000 as King of the Hill. If he wins, his total would be $55,000 and a chance to continue on. Big shot.
Up the hill.
Threw a super shot down there. The 5 pin goes into the 4. The 4 doesn't take out the 7. The ball hits. There's the 5 pin. The 5 gets driven over towards the 4. The 4 gets kind of caught in between and doesn't take out the 7. Look out on the spare. All right, Ron Williams, 7 frames under your belt. $25,000 at stake for you. 5 for Bob Larn. You trail by 14. You need to throw some strikes.
Carry it. All right. Shot. Come on.
Larn a solid 10. He could have closed the door with strikes in the 7th and 8th. Not to be. This match is going right down to the last ball. We had it happen at the true value order. Mazza and Williams tied at 225. Williams winning in a roll-off. Once again, there's that shot, Chris, that thumb hole shot.
Okay, the brides. Day before Valentine's. Stacy on the left. Larn's wife and Bonnie, Ron's wife. Side by side. Tough spot.
Ooh, what a great break. If you look at that pinfall, you had the 2-8-10 standing, which would have made Bob Larn. Watch this pin action. At one point, the 2-8-10 are standing. There they are, 2-8 and 10, and barely knocks out the 8.
So very close to the channel as well.
What that does for Ron Williams is sets up a position where he can actually lock out Bob Larn. Williams has struggled all day long. He needs 3 strikes and 3 pins to win his 5th consecutive King of the Hill match.
Come on, baby. Oh, man. Move right, move right.
Just cannot make
move
that
right.
ball flip. There he says it should have moved right. And instead he moved left. The ball skidded all the way to the back end. The match is not over. It can go down to the final few shots, but he needs this spare and some strikes. Ron Williams potential 224. Bob Larn Jr. right now going in a 226 pace. You could hear Ron Williams say, I gotta have them all. That's what he did last week. Struck in the 9th and 10th. It's not over.
Harry. All right. Come on. Gotta have it. Gotta have it. Come on, baby. Here. Yeah. Come on, gotta get them all.
He knows he must get them all. That would finish with 224 and make Bob Larn Jr.
Get them all.
Get 19 pin fill in the 10th frame to win. 18 would be another tie.
223, 7 pin standing. What a reign he has had as king.
Bob Larn Jr. needs to fill 18 pins. He will leave nothing in the bag. You watch this ball snap. He's going to get all he can get on it. This is the big one to dethrone the king.
54,000 for winning the National Bowling Hall of Fame championship.
Needs 8 pins on 2 balls. Trust me, he's going to get that. We have a new king, Bob Larn Jr. Great run by Ron Williams. Great run. 5 consecutive weeks. He was right on top.
$30,000 in his reign.
That is Waterloo today.
Winning his championship this afternoon, 228 to Ray Edwards 196. He'll be in the 230s here, so back-to-back strong games by the lad from Erie. $235 to 223 on a lift. A lot of strength, Bob Larn today. We'll be back.
Pat Summerall here at True Value, where the main attraction is personal service. Or is it low prices? Well, let's find out.
They do have sales, and you can tell it's a sale price. It's not just a few pennies. It's a real sale.
I like their quality and their service.
You look for that one star and you trust it, and that's where you go.
For personal service and low prices, bring your family to ours, the True Value family of stores.
Everything I needed to move into my new house, I bought right here.
Now people are feeling shower fresh in a surprising new way.
Shower to shower each day. Don't keep odor away.
Introducing Shower to Shower Antiperspirant.
Shower to shower each day. Helps keep wetness away.
We've combined the most effective anti-wetness ingredient with cornstarch to keep you feeling fresh and dry all day.
Shower freshness over the day.
New Shower to Shower Antiperspirant.
A kiss? No, I'm sorry. I don't think so.
Oh, no, please, no, baby, no.
Oh, not a good idea. Not now.
No, bad time.
Fight morning breath with Scope. Scope has 2 powerful ingredients that kill 90% of the bacteria that cause morning breath.
Your kiss is ready. Pucker up.
Right on the kisser.
Come on.
Kiss morning breath goodbye with Scope.
Give me that kiss.
This is what Bob Larn, Jr. earned today. 54 for winning the Bowling Hall of Fame championship, 5 plus taking over as King of the Hill. Ray Edwards, Eugene McCune, and Ron Williams saw him down the line. With the young man from Erie, Pennsylvania, winning his 2nd championship, Bob Lackey, Clara Morton, and Tino DeFranco join us here. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. It's just it's one of these days that our dreams are made of. You know, it's incredible, just incredible.
Let's get to the money.
Do I give the first one?
No, Clara. Oh. Clara, the big hitter.
Give the big money, please.
Bob, it's a privilege for me to present the Bud Light Hall of Fame check, and for $54,000. And let me tell you, this is a great Valentine's Day for you.
I guess my wife will want a little bit more than what I was going to give her tomorrow.
Take the money while you can, pal.
Yes, thank you. I'd like to thank Bud Light and National Bowling Council for their sponsoring this tournament. It was a great, great tournament. The fans here are awesome. They've been behind me all week.
Okay, Tino, quickly.
Okay, on behalf of Tropicana Lanes, the new King of the Hill, $5,000.
Thank you.
Thank you, gang. Now let's go to Bo Burton.
Thank you, Chris Schenkel. Ron Williams, I think you'll always be remembered as the real first King of the Hill. It was a great run. What advice can you give Bob Larn Jr., who has to come back next week?
Yeah, if he has a bad week, just, you're bowling a one-game match. It's head-to-head, and anybody can win it.
All right, anybody can win. Back to you, Chris.
Okay, 235 to 223, the victory by Bob Larn, the new King of the Hill from Erie, Pennsylvania. Thanks for watching tonight. Salute to Champions Dinner, Clara. We're all going to that. The Eagle flies. For everybody at ABC, I'm Chris Schenkel for Bo Burton, saying so long. See you next week in Cleveland, Ohio, for the Cleveland Open. $135,000 total prize money. Goodbye, all. Happy Valentine's Day.
The Professional Bowlers Tour has been brought to you by True Value. Got a tough job to do? You can do it with True Value hardware stores. Buy new shower-to-shower antiperspirant with cornstarch for shower freshness all through the day. And buy Scope, the best thing, first thing in the morning. Coming up next on ABC's Wide World of Sports, Olympic gold medalist Christy Yamaguchi takes on the pros in the ladies' competition of the Durasoft Colors World Championship.